Hi everyone, today I'm sharing my halwa recipe with you. This dish reminds me of my childhood. It is creamy, flavorful, and delicious. Thanks for watching and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. To start our halwa, I have some flours, and this is 2 cups of flour that I've added to a dry pan. So just flour in the pan, no oil or anything, and I have been toasting it on low heat for about 5 minutes already. And you want to constantly stir so as to not burn the flour, and you want to keep going until the flour is nice and brown, lightly browned, and has that nutty smell to it. So it has been 5 minutes that I've been toasting this, and I want to keep going for another 5 minutes or so because it's not there yet. It's still white, so I'm going to keep going for another 5 minutes. For the liquid, I'm using 2 cans of evaporated milk, and I also have 2 cups of non-fat milk that I'm going to add to the flour. Okay, so for the masala part of the halwa, I'm using a packet. Well, not a packet, but this is the halwa masala that I have bought from the West Indian grocery store. And I'm going to use about a tablespoon of this. And this is like a ready-made, if you will, masala. So it makes your life easier. Just grab it from the West Indian store and halwa is on the way. So I'm getting the mixture, or the masala mixture, ready for our halwa. In this bowl, I have 1 cinnamon stick. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of the halwa masala I showed you guys earlier. So I'm going to measure out 1 tablespoon, and I am going to add half of a tablespoon of ground ginger. And the ginger gives it that nice, gingery taste to the halwa, makes it extra delicious, if you will. So this is the masala part of our halwa, just 3 ingredients. So our flour has been toasting for a total of about 15 minutes now, and it has that nice nutty smell to it. And it has also gotten light brown. So I'm going to turn off the stove, and I'm going to add the milk from earlier. Come over here. So these are the milks from earlier, the 2 cans of evaporated milk and the 2 cups of non-fat milk. Okay, this is the evaporated milk, and I'm adding this directly in the pan with the toasted flour. So that's a 2 cup of evaporated milk, and this is the non-fat milk. And I want to whisk this together, and then we're going to strain this mixture out so it's nice and smooth. So you want to whisk it first to get all of the lumps out. So keep going and try to get all the lumps out. So I have whisked in our milk in the flour, and at this point it's still a little bit thick. So you want to thin this out. So I'm going to add some more milk in here. So you want to add as much milk as you need to thin this mixture out, because we eventually need to strain it out to add it to our halwa. So I have mixed the milk with the flour and tried to get as much lump as possible by whisking it. And I've gotten most of the bigger lumps out, but we're still going to strain this to make sure we have a nice smooth mixture. So the next step is I'm going to strain this mixture. So I'm doing a little bit at a time, and you want to take a spoon and push it through because there's still flour in here. We want to get everything out. So push it down so we can have all this in there. Keep going. Okay guys, I have strained out the milk and flour mixture and it's nice and smooth. And we're going to set this aside and get this ready for our next step. Okay guys, on to the next step for our halwa. So I have a pan that's been heating up and I'm going to add a little bit of butter. And we're going to add the spices next that we measured out earlier in here to toast. So hang on, let's have this go for a few minutes so it melts. And then we're going to add these spices that we measured out earlier. This is the halwa masala, the ginger, the halwa masala, ginger, and cinnamon. Add this in here to toast in the butter. So just lower the heat. And we're going to add a little bit of water in here so it doesn't burn. Yep. And you want this just for a few minutes. And then we'll continue on to the next step. Our halwa masala has been toasting for about 2 minutes and it's time to add our flour and milk mixture from earlier. So this is the flour and milk that I've strained in here, and you want to give it a good stir to make sure the flour is not settling in the bottom before you add it to the masala. So I'm going to add it in here. Okay. Get everything out, and we're going to toss. And I haven't added any sugar in the milk and flour mixture because I'm going to add some condensed milk end of the thing. So that will act as a sweetening agent instead of sugar. The condensed gives it a nice flavor. So I like to add the condensed milk instead of sugar in here. Okay, so everything is nicely tossed together, and you want to keep stirring this because it's going to thicken quickly if you don't stir it, and it's going to be lumpy. So you want to stand here and keep stirring. So just keep stirring, and you want to cook this on a medium heat, not too high. Our halwa has been cooking for 10 minutes and I have been constantly stirring it to make sure it doesn't get lumpy, and it has thickened nicely. You can see how thick it has gotten in 10 minutes. And at this point I'm going to add our condensed milk. I have a can of condensed milk that I'm going to add. And you can add as much or as little as you want, depending on how sweet you like your halwa. So I'm going to add some in here and then give it a taste and see if I need some more. And we'll add or leave it as is. I have cooked the halwa for an additional 5 minutes after I added the condensed milk, and it's done. It's thick and it's delicious. I've given it a taste and it tastes wonderful. So you want to turn the stove off at this point, because as it gets colder, the thicker it will get. So it's a little bit runny, but it's thick. Like if you run your finger at the back of the spoon, you can see how thick it is. So I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to plate it and show you guys what it looks like. This is the final product, our halwa, plated. And you can serve this with roti, crackers, or even on its own. But I really enjoyed it with crackers. That saltiness from the cracker contrasted with the sweet halwa, it's delicious. It is something that you guys should try, trust me. So let's give it a taste. I have been craving halwa for a long time. Delicious. I hope you give it a try. Thanks for watching.